All right, the Day of Atonement. This is the time in the future where we will go from mourning, sadness, to joy and gladness. When we will be delivered from the darkness and wickedness of this age into his presence, into his marvelous light. Hallelujah. Atonement and the redemption of his people. So to first get an understanding of this, we go to the beginning and see where the Day of Atonement was first laid in foundation when he first promised this day to Adam. When he first made the promise to him that after the time of his punishment, after the time of his sentence, that he would come to save him. Barak Yahuwah. Let's start it off in the book of Atonement, chapter 14. Hallelujah. So here in chapter 14, this is Adam stressing and being tormented about the darkness that he got himself into because of his transgression. And he cried out to Yahuwah concerning this darkness. And then we will hear Yahuwah's response. So remember, spiritually, this darkness that Adam is grieved over is representing us in this current situation that we're in. Hallelujah. Atonement, chapter 14, verses 1 through 6. Then Adam said to Yahuwah Elohim, O Yahuwah, take you my soul, and let me not see this gloom anymore, or remove me to some place where there is no darkness. See, this is the mentality of those of us who are righteous, who are now in the darkness and trapped in the wickedness of America, Mystery Babylon the Great. Verse 2. But Yahuwah said to Adam, indeed I say to you, this darkness will pass from you every day that I have determined to you, until the fulfillment of my covenant, when I shall save you, and I shall bring you back again unto the garden. This garden represents us going back home to Zion. Hallelujah. Into the house of light which you long for, in which there is no darkness. I will bring you into it, into the kingdom of the Shamayim. And again, Yahuwah Elohim said to Adam, all this misery that you have been made to take on yourself because of your transgression, it will not free you from the hand of Hasatan and will not save you. But I will, when I shall come down from the Shamayim, and I, Yahuwah, shall become the flesh of your descendants, and take on myself the infirmity from which you suffer. That is the love that our Father has for us. He's going to come down from his place of glory and take on himself our sufferings and our torments. Then the darkness that covered you in this cave shall cover me in the grave, when I am in the flesh of your descendants. Yahushua HaMashiach. And I, Yahuwah, who am without years, shall be subject to the reckoning of years and of times and of months and of days, and I, Yahuwah, shall be reckoned as one of the sons of men in order to save you. Hallelujah. On the Day of Atonement, sometime in the near future. Hallelujah. He will bring Adam and us from mourning to joy and take us from the darkness and wickedness of this age and bring us into his marvelous light. All esteem to Yahuwah. And so now let's look at where this was prophesied to our father Abraham, where he's seen the prophecy of this darkness and then this light. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15. The prophecy concerning his people and going from darkness and wickedness and bondage to his marvelous light and freedom. Genesis 15, starting at verse 12, the prophecy given to our father Abraham. And it came to be when the sun was going down and a deep sleep fell upon Abram, that see, a frightening great darkness fell upon him. Darkness. Now let's see what the darkness is. 13. And he said unto Abram, you know of a certainty that your seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. The darkness, the mourning, the wickedness. Now, here comes the light. 14. But the nation whom they serve, I am going to judge after the 400 years. You are witnessing the judgment of America, Babylon. And afterwards, after the judgment, I will let them, your descendants, come out with great possessions. Hallelujah. From darkness to his marvelous light. Hallelujah. 15. And as for you, Abram, you are to go to your fathers in peace, and you are to be buried at a good old age. 16. Then in the fourth generation, representing the 400 years, they, his descendants, shall return here, back to the land of promise, for or after the crookedness, the wickedness of the Amorites, Americans is not yet complete. Hallelujah. So we are now in the portion of this where we are seeing the judgment. So after the judgment comes us being delivered and leaving out of here with great portions. After this nation's cup is full. Barak Yahuwah. Now let's turn to the law concerning this. Let's see what the law says about us and our return. Turn to Leviticus 25. Leviticus 25. So let's see what the law says concerning our return and what day it will be on according to the law. Leviticus chapter 25, starting at verse 9. The Day of Atonement. Watch. You shall sound a shofar sound on the 10th day of the 7th new month. On Yom Kippurim, on the Day of Atonement, cause the shofar to sound throughout all your land. Hallelujah. The sound of the shofar in all your land. Verse 10, and you shall set the 50th year apart and shall proclaim release throughout all the land to all its inhabitants. It is a jubilee for you. The 50th year is a jubilee. But what does that mean? Each of you shall return to its own possession. Each of you shall return to its own land. And each of you shall return to its own families. Hallelujah. On the Day of Atonement, in the 50th year, the acceptable year of Yahuwah. Number 11, the 50th year is a jubilee to you. You do not sow nor reap what grows of its own, nor gather from its unpruned vine. It is a jubilee, and it is set apart to you. Hallelujah. You eat from the fields and its crops. In the year of this jubilee, let each one of you return to his own land. Hallelujah. So this is the Day of Atonement in the future, the 50th jubilee. Barak Yahuwah. So now let's see how Yahuwah proclaimed this in the future. Now turn to Isaiah 61. So to understand the Day of Atonement, you have to understand the promise that was first made to Adam, which ties into the vision that was seen by Abraham. And then it is linked in to the law of Leviticus 25. This is what Isaiah 61 is proclaiming. Hallelujah. The 50th Jubilee year, the acceptable year of Yahuwah. Isaiah 61. The spirit of the master Yahuwah is upon me, because he has appointed me to bring good news to the meek. And he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted and to proclaim release to the captives and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, and to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuwah and the day of vengeance of our Elohim, and to comfort all who mourn, and to appoint to those who mourn in Zion, to give them embellishment for ashes, and the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And they shall be called trees of righteousness, a planting of Yahuwah that is to be adorned. Hallelujah. And they shall rebuild the old ruins and raise up the former wastes, and they shall restore the ruined cities, the wastes of many generations. And the strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the foreigners be your plowmen and your vine dressers. And you shall be called priests of Yahuwah. Servants of Elohim shall be said of you. And you shall consume the strength of the nations and boast in their esteem. Hallelujah. Going from darkness to his marvelous light. Hallelujah. Number 7, instead of your shame and reproach, darkness, they shall rejoice a second time in their portion. Light in our own land. Therefore, they take possession a second time in their land. Everlasting joy is theirs. For I, YAHUAH, I love right ruling, and I hate robbery for ascending offerings. And I shall give their reward in truth and make a everlasting covenant with them. This is all the day of atonement, the day of our redemption, the day of our deliverance. Number 9, and their seed shall be known amongst the nations, and their offspring in the midst of the peoples. And all who see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the true seed YAHUAH has blessed. And I greatly rejoice in YAHUAH, and my soul exalts in my Elohim, for he has put the garments of deliverance on me and has covered me with the robe of righteousness. Hallelujah. As a bridegroom decks himself in ornaments, and as a bride adorns herself with jewels, as the earth brings forth its bud, and as the garden causes the seed to sprout up, so does the Master YAHUAH cause righteousness and praise to shoot up before all the nations. Hallelujah. Atonement, the 50th Jubilee, from mourning to joy, from the darkness of this wicked age to his marvelous light. Hallelujah. Turn back a page to chapter 60, from darkness to his light. Arise, for the time is coming. Isaiah chapter 60, and I'm going to start at 1 through 5. Arise and shine, for your light has come, and the esteem of YAHUAH has risen upon you. From darkness to light. For look, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness the people. But YAHUAH arises over you, and his esteem is seen upon you. And all the nations shall come to your light, and all the kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes all around and see. All of them have gathered. They have come to you, and your sons from afar, and your daughters are supported on the side. Then you shall see and be bright, and your heart shall throb and swell, for the wealth of the sea is turned to you, the wealth of the people, the wealth of the nations. Genesis 15, and you shall leave with great substance. Hallelujah. Atonement, from darkness to his marvelous light. Skip down to verse 18. And violence shall no longer be heard in your land, neither wasting or ruin within your borders. And you shall call your walls deliverance, and your gates praise. No longer is the sun your light by day, nor does the moon give light to you for brightness. But YAHUAH shall be to you an everlasting light, in your Elohim, your beauty. From darkness to your marvelous light. 20. No longer does the sun go down, nor the moon withdraw itself, for YAHUAH shall be your everlasting light, and the days of your mourning shall be ended. No more mourning, only joy. And your people, look, all of them righteous. So who is this promise made to? The righteous ones. Your people, all of them righteous, shall inherit the earth forever, a branch of my planting and a work of my hands to be adorned. The remnant, the little shall become 1,000, and the small one a strong nation. I, Yahuwah, shall hasten it, shall speed it up in its time. Hallelujah. Do you see time speeding up? Does it feel like time is going by quickly? He desires to redeem his people. He desires to get back to his children. And he desires to judge with fire those who afflicted us. All esteem to Yahuwah. From darkness to light. 1 Peter chapter 2. First Peter chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. From darkness to his marvelous light. You, us, you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a set-apart nation, a people of his possession, his prized possession. For what purpose? That you should proclaim the praises of him who has called you out of darkness to his marvelous light. So he's standing on the mountaintop, calling his people to righteousness, calling his people to come out of the darkness of Babylon and return to his righteousness unto his marvelous light. Look at this, the darkness and the light, verse 10, who were once not a people, darkness, but now are the people of Elohim, light, who had not obtained compassion before, darkness, but now we can obtain his compassion, light. All esteem to Yahuwah. This is the time. This is the season. He's calling for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. Barak Yahuwah. So now let's read about Yahusha talking about this same joy that will come to us in the future. Yahusha warns us about the grief that will come to his people, that in the future will be turned into everlasting joy. John 16. Hallelujah. John 16, verses 16 through 22. And so this is when Yahusha was telling his taught ones that he will not be with them much longer, that soon he will depart from them. And once he departs, will come a time of grief. But hold fast, endure to the end, because I shall come again and bring unto you everlasting joy. John 16, verse 16, Yahusha speaking. A little while, and you do not see me, the darkness. And again in a little while, you shall see me, the light. Therefore, some of his taught ones said to one another, what is this that he says to us? A little while you do not see me, and again a little while you shall see me. And because I am going to my Father. So they said, what is this that he says, a little while? We do not know what he is saying. 19. Yahusha therefore knew what they were wishing to ask him, and he said to them, are you asking one another about what I said? A little while and you do not see me, and again in a little while you shall see me. Verse 20. Truly, truly, I say to you that you shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice. The 400-year captivity. But your grief shall be turned into joy. The light. So you're going to go into captivity, and it's going to be grief, and it's going to cause you to lament and mourn. But one day, at the 50th Jubilee, I'm going to return to you and bring you everlasting joy and my marvelous light. Hallelujah. Verse 21. The woman has grief when she is in labor because her hour has come. But as soon as she has given birth to the child, she no longer remembers the affliction. When we get home, we're not going to even remember these things. It's going to be like a dream. For the joy of the man that was born to her in the world. So what is to come in the future has no comparison to what we're going through now. Number 22, and you therefore have grief now, but I shall see you again, and your heart shall rejoice on the day of atonement, and no one takes your joy away from you. Hallelujah. From darkness of this age unto his marvelous light. Barak Yahuwah. So that was Yahusha comforting and encouraging his brothers of the things that was to come. That for a while you're going to go through things, but in the future, your grief shall be turned into joy. Hallelujah. Turn to Isaiah chapter 40. So he is leaving these words here. He is leaving this record here for us so that we might be encouraged in him, knowing that mourning may be through the night, but joy definitely comes in the morning. Barak Yahuwah. Isaiah chapter 40, starting at verse 1. Comfort my people, says your Elohim. Speak to the heart of Yerushalayim and cry to her that her hard service is completed, that her 400 years of bondage and servitude is completed, and that all her crookedness is pardoned, and that she has received from the hand of Yahuwah double for all her sins. Hallelujah. This is what the Day of Atonement is about. Number 3, the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Prepare the way of Yahuwah and make straight in the desert a highway for our Elohim. Number 4, let every valley be raised and every mountain and hill be made low, and the steep ground shall become level, and the rough places smooth, and the esteem of Yahuwah shall be revealed. When is he revealed? When is the esteem of Yahuwah? When is the son of Adam revealed? At the Day of Atonement. And the esteem of Yahuwah shall be revealed, and all flesh together shall see it, for the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken. Hallelujah. These things are surely to come to pass. These things are surely to come to pass on the Day of Atonement, the 50th Jubilee, coming soon. All esteem to Yahuwah. Turn to Tahalim, chapter 30. Hallelujah. So there in Isaiah chapter 40, he makes the declaration to us to be comforted, for soon your captivity is finished. Tehillim chapter 30. I exalt you, O YAHUAH, for you have drawn me up, and you have not let my enemies rejoice over me. YAHUAH, my Elohim, I have cried to you, and you have healed me. YAHUAH, you brought me up from Sheol. You brought me out of Babylon. You have kept me alive from going down into the pit. Sing praise to YAHUAH, you lovingly committed ones of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his set apartness. Number 5, for his displeasure is for a moment, darkness, and his delight is for life, light. Weeping might last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. Hallelujah. From darkness to his marvelous light. As for me, I have said in my ease, I would not be shaken. Family, don't be shaken. The ground is going to shake. The spirit realm is going to shake. Hold on. Be not easily shaken. Hallelujah. Turn to Romans chapter 8. Hallelujah. Be not easily shaken. Romans chapter 8, starting at verse 16. It says, and the Spirit himself bears witness to our spirit that we are the children of Elohim. And if children, then we're also heirs. And if truly heirs of Elohim's, we are co-heirs with the Hamashiach. On what condition? If indeed we suffer with him, in order that we also be exalted with him together. So if he suffered, that means we got to suffer. Think about the rapture people. They want to get out of here without any suffering. Then how can you reign with him? It says it right there in Romans 8. That if he suffers, we got to suffer in order to reign with him. Name me one of his taught ones that didn't suffer. Name one of the disciples that didn't suffer. Think about it. Did most of the prophets suffer? Every high statue person in our book has suffered at some point in time. So what is this watered down European version of the book that makes it that we don't have to suffer? Hallelujah. Let's read that again. Number 17. It says, if we are his children, then we're also heirs. And if we are truly heirs of YAHUAH, then we are co-heirs with the Hamashiach. If indeed we suffer with him, in order that we be exalted together. Hallelujah. But be encouraged by number 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not even worth comparing with the esteem that is to be revealed in us. Hallelujah. Let's see what that is. Turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Let's see what this esteem looks like that is going to be revealed in us. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, starting at verse 6. We speak wisdom amongst those who are perfect, not the wisdom of this age, nor the rulers of this age that are being brought to nothing. So the wisdom and the good news and the encouragement that we speak is not of this world, but it is of the Spirit of Yahuwah, and not of those men who are going to be brought to nothing. Number 7, we speak the wisdom of Yahuwah Elohim, which was hidden in a secret, and which Elohim ordained before the ages for our esteem. So before the ages, he preordained this for our esteem. Number 8, which no one of the rulers of this age knew, for if they would have known, they would not have impaled the master of esteem. But it has been written to us, eye hasn't seen, and the ear has not heard, nor has it entered into the heart of a man what Yahuwah has prepared for those who love him. Hallelujah. Do you love him? If you love him, you can't even perceive what is coming for you. But he give you a little hint at it through the words of his book. Verse 10. But Yahuwah Elohim has revealed them to us through his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all matters, even to the depths of Elohim. Hallelujah. So he is searching the depths in our spirit to reveal to us his great esteem. Let's see what it looks like. Turn to Tehillim 126. Psalms 126. This is a glance at what cannot be perceived by man. When he brings forth our deliverance and brings us from darkness to his light, brings us from mourning to joy. All of this stuff that we're going through, it's going to be like a bad dream towards the negative, and towards the positive, the life in Zion with him and with him reigning over us. It's going to be like a beautiful dream. That's actually reality. Hallelujah. Psalms 126. It was all a dream. When Yahuwah turns back the captivity of Zion, we shall be like dreamers. Then our mouths shall be filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. And they shall say amongst the nations, Yahuwah has done great deeds for them. Yahuwah shall do great deeds for us, and we shall be glad. Hallelujah. This is our prayer. Turn back our captivity, O Yahuwah, like the streams in the south. Let those who are sowing in tears, darkness, they shall reap songs of joy, light. The tears that you're sowing now in this age, they shall grow into songs of joy when the Son of Adam is revealed. Number 6, he who goes on and weeps, bearing seeds for sowing shall indeed come in with rejoicing, bearing his sheaves. Hallelujah. When YAHUAH turns back the captivity of Zion. So we have much to be expecting on this day in the future. Hold on. Hold on and wait for him. Lamentations chapter 3 to conclude. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 21 through 26 to conclude. Endure to the end and wait on him. Hallelujah. This I recall to mind. Therefore I wait. If it wasn't for the loving commitments of YAHUAH, we would have been consumed. If it wasn't for his love and his commitment, our nation would have been totally consumed. But for his compassion or for his mercy, they have not ended. So his compassion and his mercy have not ended towards his people, but they are new every morning. Great is your trustworthiness. See, YAHUAH is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I wait on him. YAHUAH is good to those waiting for him, to the soul who seeks him. 26. It is good to both wait and be silent for the deliverance of YAHUAH Elohim on the Day of Atonement in the future, the 50th Jubilee, where he will take our nation from mourning into joy, and where he will take our nation from darkness of this age and this wicked country unto his marvelous light. Rock YAHUAH.
Give me a clean heart, so I may serve thee. Yah, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee, for I'm not worthy of all these blessings. Give me a clean heart, and I will follow